Well, good morning, everyone. Well, after further review of looking on at the so-called Big Beautiful Bill Part 2, yeah, it is watered down in many ways. But unfortunately, we only have a small majority in both houses. Unfortunately, that's the compromise you have to make. Now, there are a lot of good things in this bill. The three things that Trump has been real good, both terms, the economy and protecting the country, whether it's by law enforcement or by military. We need the money for military. We need the money to protect the border. We need the money for ICE to do their thing, and we need these tax cuts to be permanent and go further deeper so people can keep more of their money to fight inflation. He's also been good on energy. And as Trump sets up the parallel economy, kind of like what the Rothschilds did in the early 70s, he is getting the country ready. Now, there is no federal funding for Planned Parenthood in this bill, which is a good thing. And that was only by a 2-vote majority. This is what we're dealing with, folks. This is what we're dealing with. Now, I know Bill Lee's federal land thing was thrown out, and I'm happy about that because the states should not have federal land in their states. And if that's states' land, it should belong to the states. All these federal national parks should be state national parks. I'm sorry. The only piece of federal land the government should own is Washington, D.C., military bases, and whatever buildings they need. As far as them having acres and acres and acres of land, no. And I think the Bureau of Land Management is one of those agencies that just need to go. No, in fact, they definitely need to go. But the more I see the bill, the more I see why people are upset. Yeah, the tax cuts are real good. They're not deep enough, but hey, again, go yell the rhinos. You need the guys at the primary out. There wasn't much cut in federal spending. Yep, again, thank the rhinos. Thank the rhinos for that. But when you consider how up in arms the Democrats are against this bill, and they're losing their mind, even though we didn't get what we wanted, everything we wanted, because you never do, this bill needs to pass. As Ronald Reagan said, if you can't get the whole loaf now, you take half now, and you go after that half later. But this bill needs to pass. And I'm mad about, I'm grateful that there's no tax on overtime, no tax on tips, but they're still taxing Social Security on old people. And they know old people vote, so they're going to try to use this against Trump. But everyone who's paying attention knows this is not a Trump thing. This is a Rhino Republican thing. So remember that when you go to primary these guys out. I've been telling you people, primaries are just as important as the regular election. Primaries are where the real change takes place, and people for some reason don't realize that. I don't care if it's on a local level like I just did a couple weeks ago. We were discussing with our town supervisor and our town board, and so we all came out in droves and we got rid of them. We voted for change. And now they'll run again in November against the Democrat or independent opponent. That's where the change happens, folks. You guys say, oh, I don't care about the primaries. I go for the main one. Yeah, the primaries are just as important. Again, I wouldn't call it the big, beautiful bill. I call it the big old bill or big bill. But it needs to pass. and watch the economy boom. And you need the economy boom because you need the pressure to be on Jerome Powell of the Federal Reserve. Everyone around the world has lower interest rates than we do, and yet we have the strongest economy going. He is checkmating the old system. The way Nixon set up the parallel economy, the way the Rothschilds in 1971 by taking us off the gold standard and taking us to the petrodollar based on oil in the Mideast, Trump is trying to do the reverse now. He's trying to take us off the petrodollar and put us on the gold standard. And as Trump said in his tweet on Truth Social, he who has the gold makes all the rules. So what is he telling you? We have the gold. That's why he wants to do an audit on the Federal Reserve. What did our buddy number 17 tell us? Gold would destroy the Federal Reserve. But first, we need to get our energy in order. We need to get our manufacturing in order. We need to build up a defense. And we need to bring manufacturing back. So, yeah, the big beautiful bill isn't as beautiful as Trump wanted it to be, but he has to work with Congress.
In 2 miles, use the second from the
Which
right
is further proof that Trump is not a fascist.
North toward Poughkeepsie.
Your comments down below, what's your opinion like to know? Keep the country in prayer. God bless you all. We'll talk to you later.